Hey friends, happy Wednesday the 7th of June. It's nice to be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Using a little technology, I'll share a daily reflection on the daily readings. They're linked down below. You're going to click the link, read the readings prayerfully 2, even 3 times, nice and slow, and then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. Don't be doom scrolling social media or letting the YouTube algorithm take you down the rabbit hole, right? Spend time with God before anything else. Thank you for your prayers for the priests of the Diocese of Cheyenne. We're on retreat this week and always could just, be prayed for that we might be better servants more fully in loving relationship with the people of God. We're doing a little parish retreat Sunday afternoon. Theme is the Sacred Heart. Call Holly in the parish office if you'd like to come, 1 to 5, I think. So we'd love to pray with you and have a little bit of time in retreat. Okay, we're working on the book of Tobit this week and the end of Mark's Gospel. We'll switch over to Matthew next week. So Tobit, we've got a big, long reading. So yesterday, Tobit finally kind of exploded with his wife, and they have a yelling match. And so today we kind of hear the internal consequences of that. And Tobit is at the end of his rope. And so he turns in prayer and he asks God for the gift of death, that he is tired of this life and he prays to die. And then we also hear of Raguel, a kinsman's daughter, Sarah, who is mocked by servants, and she thinks to hang herself, to die by suicide. But then she thinks of family relationships and she turns away. And then she prays to God. And her prayer is a very simple prayer, only 3 lines long. There's no petition in it, but there is, blessing, praise of God, even in a really difficult and dark moment. I don't know necessarily where we're at. I don't know where you are at, if life is that difficult or not, if we've ever experienced times that life has been that difficult or not. But perhaps as you pray these scriptures today, you might pray for people that are really struggling and in dire straits and for whom death seems like a good course, and just hold them in prayer. The psalm response that's connected with this, "To you, O Lord, I lift my soul," is a psalm of petition and trust. And so, maybe we're not in the depths of despair like Tobit and Sarah, but maybe there are challenging things that are happening in our own life, and it would be good to commend our needs and our prayers into the hands of God as well. So I invite you to maybe pray that psalm and whatever's going on in your own life to offer that to the Lord. Okay, Gospel, we have a discussion with the Sadducees. And even though in the book of Tobit, we hear about Sarah, who has had 7 husbands that have all died on her wedding night. That's not the same as what the Sadducees are talking about, nor are they talking about, the 7 sons of Maccabees, right? 7, of course, is a very Jewish number of perfection and completion. This is part of the law of Moses, that kinsmen, brothers marry a wife and raise children for their deceased brother. And so it is meant to be a question, or a question that can't be answered, right? Like, it's devised to show how ridiculous it is by the Sadducees to think about resurrection and who is this woman going to be married to. Remember that the Sadducees, as we hear at the beginning of this reading, do not believe that there's a resurrection. And so the Sadducees probably would have been focused much more on the 5 books of law of Moses. Very likely the Sadducees are allied with the animal sacrifice and priesthood in the temple, and that especially is governed by the laws of Moses. And so you don't have as much of an emphasis on the prophets or on the wisdom teachings. And it's especially the wisdom teaching in Israel later on in the Old Testament period, a few hundred years before Jesus, where you start to get the development of beliefs in the resurrection. That's why the Sadducees don't believe in it, right? So they're again setting up a double bind for Jesus. Either he says, it was the first brother that she was married to that they're married in the resurrection, or it's the last brother, right? Jesus can't answer this question. And he scoffs at them for asking a question that cannot be answered, right? That it is so far beyond our comprehension of what God is preparing in the fullness of eternity and in the resurrection. And then he quotes, the burning bush experience, and especially it's an argument of grammar, right? God is not saying, I was, in the past tense, the God of Abraham, I was the God of Isaac, I was the God of Jacob, but rather I am. That to God all things are in this present moment, and God is. And Jesus dares the Sadducees and all who are with him to dream of abundant life. So, and always in Jesus, it is a present and a future reality, right? So where in eternity and resurrection and abundant life do you want to pray today? In this present age, what's the Lord calling us to live that graced, abundant life? Perhaps a check in there. Or dreaming of the future, something so far beyond our comprehension and our understanding, and to allow God to boggle our minds, right? All right. Well, friends, happy Wednesday. Read those readings prayerfully and then turn off the screen, spend some time with God before you go on to other things. God bless y'all.